And all praises to Yahweh Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushai, Kwam Yasharahla. Hallelujah. All right, so this is the Most High's High Holy Day Shabbat. We had Hebrew chosen elect. Okay, under the Yasharahla, Yasharahla, the government of Israel. Okay, in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem, Hamashiach Yahushai. We always want to recognize the Most High's High Holy Day Shabbat because it's very, very important. And it's the High Holy Day, the Shabbat, is the Most High's High Holy Day that He created and gave to the nation of Israel from the creation. So that's one of the highest High Holy Days that the Most High gave the nation of Israel. Okay, so the Most High said He rested the seventh day. Okay, so the same thing with us. He gave us that law that on the Sabbath, 6 days thou shalt work and do all thy labor, but the seventh day is the day of rest. So we praise the Most High for His High Holy Day, the Shabbat. And we're the nation of Israel, we're the Hebrews, right? So if we don't keep the commandments and the ceremonial laws of the Most High, but the Most High in the spiritual world still keeps it. See, we might not do it, but the Most High, Yahushua, the angels, they still do it. Every Sabbath, it's a day of rest for them. Just that we're not following the commandments down here on earth. And that's the problem. Right? So we want to never let nobody tell you not to recognize the commandments. Law, statute, commandments of the Most High. So you hear all some of these brothers talking about we don't have to keep the commandments and we don't have to keep the ceremonial laws. That's a lie. Don't listen to that. That's a lie. Okay. The Most High always commanded Israel to keep His law, statute, and commandments forever. So the fact that we were dispersed and kicked out of our land, doesn't mean you don't keep the commandments. Right? Doesn't mean that. It means, yeah, of course, we lost the understanding of ourselves, and when the Most High wakes us up and takes that veil of ignorance out of our mind and brings us back to the truth, we're supposed to now begin to recognize, okay, and to our best of our ability, keep the commandments. They come? All right? And the Most High know what we can do and what we can't do. See, so it's on a high level. The Most High know what we can do. But now, with that, I just want to show how Esau's economy, right? The economy of Esau is falling. America is falling. And so that's why this Shabbat is going to show the destruction of the American economy. It's falling. It's over. And this is why it's important for us to prepare ourselves as a nation now. Okay? Not only individually with your families and everything, but as a nation. Okay? Give me the one in Joel right quick, where it says prepare for war. That's Joel, the 3rd chapter. And Joel 3? Yeah, Joel 3 and 9.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war.
So the Most High saying, so what's coming? Is it peace or is it war? That's plain and simple. That's why the churches, they don't teach this. Prepare for war. So as we see that the Most High is telling the nations to prepare for war, well, aren't we a nation too? That's the problem with us. We don't even look at ourselves as a nation. We look at ourselves as part of the American nation, American empire, right? All right? That's why these are people that say, well, we meaning our government, this government, but not we as being a Democrat or a Republican. Forget that. It's over. Okay? They're finished. So proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war. So we need to prepare too. So this is why the Most High, over 10 years ago, the Most High had us establish the Yasharahla, because we need our government. And we don't have a government, right? We have it. We're a nation in exile, but we're not together. We don't look at ourselves as a people that come from a government. So the Most High is still saying for us, because we're a nation, we're the nation of Israel. Look, nation of Israel, prepare for war. If He told other nations that, He's telling us that too, right? And we're not even ready for war. Are we ready for war? No, people are ready for war. Our people are hoping that the dollar system, this currency, don't fall. They're hoping that America, look how, again, over there in Maui, how especially the black elites, okay, of our people trying to save their house, trying to save their mansion. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey's worth $1 billion, and she's going to try to save her $1 million mansion. See? So they're looking to still continue and prop America up to keep it going. You black politicians do the same thing. You're a black politician. You got to keep America going. America's falling. That's why the Mossad, they put Donald Trump in jail. What is the Mossad showing with that? First president ever go to jail. What is the Mossad showing the people with that?
He's destroying the wise men out of Edom.
Exactly. He's bringing them down. Right? President don't go to jail. I don't care what they've done. Right? Not in America, right? But the Mossad said, nope, it's time now. You're going into prison. And that's spiritual also, meaning they all go into prison, right? The Mossad can send one of their top leaders. Donald Trump was a United States president, and they threw him in jail. And then look at the condition of Biden. What condition is he in to be president? He don't know his ass from a hole in the ground. He don't know which way is up, Bob. He's going around in circles. Right? What's the Mossad showing there? Handwritings on the wall, right? Yep. Thou art wanting. It's time to go down. Babylon the Great. It's time to go down. So he's giving you examples that they're falling.
Yeah, he's falling upstairs.
Yeah, he's falling upstairs, Doc. Who falls upstairs, Doc? You know what I'm saying? And then turn around, nobody's there. He's like, So the Mossad is showing us the time is coming. And it's our time now to rise up.
That's right.
And it's our time now. And that's why we got to take hold of what the Mossad teaches us, and Yahweh teach us in the scriptures. Take hold of it, right? Prepare ourselves, come together, forsake not to come together in unity and rise up as a people, as a nation, and as a government. Because we got to recognize ourselves as a government. We recognize ourselves as a people, as a nation of Israel, Hebrew Israelites, but also as a government, okay? And as a righteous government, okay? So that's why we have to put all that together. And put aside all the, the divisions, the schisms, and isolationisms, understand? And separatism, right? And the egos and the pride, you know what I'm saying? And my camp is better than your camp, and all this competition, this camp. We got to put all that aside. Because look at the BRIC nations, right? The BRIC nations are doing what?
Putting all their differences aside.
All their differences. When did you ever hear African nations coming together with Russia? And other nations coming together with Russia, and then other nations coming together with China. When do you ever hear that in history? And yes, they're enemies too. Come? They're enemies. But what are they saying? Let's put all that aside. Right? Let's put all that aside.
They bring Esau to their border.
Yeah. So why can't we do that? As the same people, as a nation of Israel, why can't we do that? We know we're all Hebrews. What's wrong with us? We can't put our differences aside, and enemies of the other Gentile nations can do the same and come together? Something's wrong with us, right? Yeah, we got to figure it out. See? So it's not so much that you know that you're a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, yes, that's good. But now what's the next level and step? So you got to come together with your brother. And the ones that didn't are in different camps and Israelite schools than you. You got to come together with them. And then form, like the BRIC nations have formed that coalition. We got to form our coalition, right? The next camp in Philly, next camp in New Jersey, next camp in New York, we got to form that coalition. And the next camps in all the cities and states, we got to form that coalition with each other. And we're not even trying to do it. And here Putin, he can go to Africa and form a coalition. He can go with China and form a coalition. He can go to Brazil and form a coalition. And we can't even do it with each other. Okay? So that's what that shows you, right? So go ahead, Yakanan.
Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
Come on up. Mossad saying, and this is the Mossad saying, the war that's coming at the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, that war is coming. All the men, and guess who's going to lead these nations? The Antichrist. So here, India got nuclear bombs, right? They got nuclear bombs now. North Korea got nuclear bombs. You know, China got them, Russia got them, Pakistan, I think, got a couple.
Yeah.
Iran's going. They're gonna get one. they coming. You know, they're probably next. You know, so because they got all the ingredients for one. So they're like the hell with what America says, right? So they got their militaries all together. All together. And the Most High said, okay, come on up. And when he means come up, it means come up to the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is in Jerusalem. And Jehoshaphat means Valley of Decision. Come on up, and it's going to be this great war right here. And that's when the Most High going to bring Yahushua to heavens, right? With the angels. He said, I will not meet you as a man. Come with spiritual power now, right? Right? Because these nations, all these nations coming together with all their militaries out, that's a lot of power, right? A lot of power. So that's what the Most High is saying here. So, but now what about us? How come we ain't coming together and forming our military? Come? I mean, we're gonna do it. It's the last thing we're gonna do. We're gonna come together. That's the last thing Esau want is for the so-called black man, West Indian, Haitian, Puerto Rican, and the 12 tribes of Israel to come together. It's the last thing he want. Last thing he want. He don't want to see that because he knows that the end of his world is the beginning of Jacob's world. So that's why he don't want to see us come together. He don't want to see the different camps come together, martial arts. He don't want to see all that. Government? Well, who told him to stay government? Don't even say that word. Understand what I'm saying? He don't care if we fight in the streets of America. He don't care. The camps, okay, go on and fight for a corner. If you want to fight for a corner, go ahead and fight. He don't care about that. He wants you to do that.
Yep.
He wants you to do that, huh? He knows that, okay, they're not ready. Look at them. But when we start to come together and put aside our differences and come together as a nation, then he's like, whoa, as a people, like, whoa, wait a minute, now they come together. They don't want that. And they're going to do everything possible. Like they're going to send every weapon against you, okay? But we know the Most High said every weapon that is formed, you know what I'm saying? No weapon that is formed can come against you. He's going to send Masonic heads of the Masonic order against us. He's going to send elites of the Illuminati against us. And they're going to be Israelites, huh? They're going to be Jake, right? To sell you out. To cause division in the ranks.
That's our weakness.
That's our weakness, huh? You don't think they know what our weaknesses are? They know, huh? See? And so that's why we got to be careful. We got to know that this is how Esau plays the game. And we don't know it. I mean, we know it, but because of our weakness for, money and fame and fortune and all that, it sidetracks us, it distracts us. Right? They send, look how they send the Edomite woman against the black man. Okay, when they become a high-level sports star, high-level black actor, high-level black rap star. And they send these old lewd, wicked-ass women against brothers.
Trap.
Yeah. Steve Harvey thought he had a nice woman, right? Didn't he? Yeah. Right? And look what the Most High did. Got you. Right? Because why? They don't escape it because they famous and have money. They don't escape the curses that the Most High is going to come on us as a people, right?
Come.
Why should they escape it? So what? You worth $100 million. You an Israelite. Come. Tiger Woods couldn't escape it, could he? Anybody told you to marry an Edomite woman? O.J. Simpson couldn't escape it?
Not at all.
What about the one named, what's his name, Stitch? What's his name?
The dancer.
The dancer, the one that was on Ella DeGeneres show, the black dude. Remember he married the white woman?
Oh, DJ Twitch, yeah.
Twitch. I'm sorry, I said Stitch, right? Twitch. And guess who got all his money? The white woman.
Little Arnold couldn't escape it.
Who?
Little Arnold.
Yeah.
Little Arnold.
Yeah. Couldn't escape
Went
it.
into his coma.
Yeah.
Somebody said pull the plug quick.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that? See?
Shit, what's the dude name? Hit the lottery down Florida. Shakespeare Jones. He ain't escaped it. He hit the lottery and then she killed him. He was gone 2 weeks or so before they found out he was
Really?
dead. Yeah, and the white woman kept all the money. You know?
Unbelievable. Most High said, no, you ain't escaping this thing. Israel. But now, if we do what Yahweh Shai say do, right? If we do what Yahweh Shai say do, then we could make it easier for us in our transition from the wicked world into what the Most High wants to do righteously. It could become a little bit easier for us.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It would be a little bit easier for us. So if we come together and put aside our differences, then we don't have to worry about that madness that's out there in the world that's going on. But see, are we ready to do that? And that's the level that we're saying we got to come on. The level of Yahweh Shai talk about brotherhood, loving thy brethren, saying, loving one another, bearing one another's burdens, caring for one another, nurturing one another, all that stuff. We haven't come on that level yet. And that's our problems, right? But the brick nations, they can do it and we can't do it? What the hell's going on here? We know the scriptures. We're the Hebrews. We know the Most High's word. Understand? But we don't apply it. And that's our problem. Okay? Okay, go ahead, Yakanan.
Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves, and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about to the cause, thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh.
See? So what the Most High saying? So where they gonna come down to? Come down where? When you read Joel, the first verse, Yakanan.
Say what now?
Yeah, 3 and 1. Let's go up to 3 and 1. So here's where they're going to come at, okay? So all the nations that are proclaiming, the Most High says, proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare for war. Where they going to come to? Here it is here. Go ahead,
For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
So what does that mean? That's why when you study the Bible, you got to understand when Esau translated the Bible, he put certain words in there that make it seem like, oh, you're going back into captivity. Or no, bring again the captivity, man. He's going to bring you out of it, out of captivity. Okay, not bring you back into captivity. Come. So that's why it's important to read the Hebrew too. So we got to have Hebrew classes in here also. Okay, because don't ever let a camp tell you don't read the Hebrew, brother. You may hear that too.
Yeah.
Okay, you need your language. Okay? Don't tell me you go into a Korean store and what are they speaking?
Korean.
Until they come to you and say, this is how much it is. It's $10, right?
What a bargain.
How do you know English all of a sudden? All of a sudden they know English, but when any other time they speak in their language. Right? Here in America, they speak their language. Right? Other nations speak their language. So don't nobody tell you don't speak your language. Okay?
But old people tell us
Right.
the Hebrew language is dead.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not dead. What, the Most High's ancient language is dead? What are you saying? It's not dead. Esau put it to the side. He don't want you to know it. Okay, but it's not dead. See, that's why it's our job to seek the truth. Our job is to seek out our culture, our nationality. Seek it out. It's hidden everywhere. They're finding these ancient artifacts over here in America with ancient Hebrew, Paleo-Hebrew on it. They say, wait a minute, these North American Indians spoke Paleo-Hebrew? Wait a minute, are they Israelites? They're finding it. They're finding artifacts like that. So is it dead? No. Esau just put it to the side because he's ruling the earth now. He don't want you speaking your spiritual language. And when you pray, you're going to pray in Hebrew? No. You can't have that. Right? That's the Most High's language.
Good.
Things that are uttered in Hebrew are stronger than things that are uttered in English. And He's going to have you pray in Hebrew? No, He don't do that. He's going to change that language, right? So think about that. So when you hear a camp that says that, they're out of their damn minds. Okay? Your language is synonymous with your nationality. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. See? Come?
Sure.
All right, go ahead, Ox. So you're going to bring us out of captivity.
Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
And where's Jehoshaphat? In Zion, in Israel, Jerusalem. Come? Jehoshaphat means valley of decision. That's where the Most High is going to decide what He's going to do, right? And we know what He's going to do, what He prophesied. He's going to destroy the nations. But when you read about that valley was a wide open space. Okay? Hundreds of miles wide. And it was, when you read about it, there was a lot of wars. Israel had a lot of wars in that valley, Jehoshaphat. There was a lot of war there. That valley is so full of blood. I'm talking about over thousands of years, right? It's so full of blood. All the wars we had in that valley out. So in that valley, you could fit multitudes of armies. And Yahushua said, oh, there you go. They're all right there, ready for the destruction. Right? All in that valley. Son?
Sure.
So Yahushua he's gonna have spiritually the Antichrist going to be the leader of this army and bring them down into that valley. That's why they say, what they say, that Euphrates River is drying up. Well, that's in the scriptures, right? To do what? Prepare the way for the armies coming for battle. Right? And He said, prepare war. So they're coming for battle. Huh? It's going to be a war. And our people are praying for peace. Let it not happen. What's wrong with you? See? It has to happen this way. Moses said, there's no peace unto the wicked, said the Most High. None. They will not. And when they say peace, peace, then sudden destruction come upon them. And they know it. They hate saying peace, but they got to say it to deceive the people. So the Most High got them saying it. They don't want to say it. They know it's going to happen right after. And then, boom, here it comes. Okay? So, but we have to understand that this also is talking about us to prepare also for the battle too. But we know that our battle is spiritual first, right? Then it's going to be physical. It's going to be that physical battle. So we got to prepare ourselves spiritually first. Understand? So that's why the scripture says the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but spiritual. So we are dealing with spirit, especially when you come into the truth, you're dealing with a spiritual battle first, right? Because you also are dealing with spiritual entities that attack you, right? Every day. They attack you every day. Some of you might realize it, some of you might not. And they tempt you every day. That's what the example when Yahushua fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Who tempted him? Every day, didn't let up. He didn't let up. That's why Scripture says in Romans, the first chapter, from faith to faith. Meaning what? Day by day. By day by day. And as things increase towards Jacob's trouble in the tribulation period, then the temptations are going to increase. Okay? And once that increases, then your faith has to take over. That's why you pray every day, to get them spirits off of you. Because them spirits are going to multiply. You got Esau now looking for them demons. You got these big machines that they call CERN. They spin around molecules, right? To open up portals to bring these spirits, entities into this world. And these entities, and read Revelation 9th chapter, they tell you. Okay? They come from the bottom of this pit. And they coming. I mean, you got entities now, but not like what's coming. Come.
Come.
And they're going to be on us. And you're talking about, again, that's why I say Jacob's trouble. You're not in Jacob's trouble yet. Yeah, well, I mean, we go through our little tribulation, trial and tribulation and stuff, but we're not in Jacob's trouble. So we better think again what we're going to do. We're going to need each other. And that day, you ain't going to be able to go call the police. You ain't going to be able to call your attorney. You ain't going to be able to call, you know what I'm saying? No. You're going to need, I'm going to be calling Yasharahla. Yasharahla, help me. I had to call Yasharahla, help me. And if he's able to, you know what I'm saying? Or his brother may call me, help me. Right? And then that's when we're supposed to, right? Apply what Yahushua said. But we're going to need it. We're going to need it. See? Then the Most High going to say, okay, now you're going to apply my word. That's when Yahushua said, you're going to apply my gospel, my commandments. See? Go ahead, Doc.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people.
See, Most High said, plead. See? That's why, what did the Most High say to Pharaoh? He told Moses, tell Pharaoh, let my people go. See, I'm pleading for my people. Let them go. And if you don't, Pharaoh, then this is what's going to happen to you. And Pharaoh, for the same reason, I rose you up. Now I'm going to show my power in you. I gave you all this power, Pharaoh. I gave you the empire of the whole earth, to rule the whole earth. And no nation can come against you, Pharaoh. I rose you up for that same reason. Just so I can deliver my people and show the whole earth my power. So now we bring up the date, right? What is America? The second Egypt. So the Most High is telling, now it's Esau, right? For the same reason. It's not Esau is the second Pharaoh. For the same reason, Pharaoh, I rose you up, that I may show my power in you. See? And now they got nuclear bombs. Right? Esau got over 800-something military bases throughout the world. Power, boy. He got what? How many airplane carriers he got? About 100 of them? You ever seen them airplane carriers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Them things are like 3 football fields long now.
Yeah.
And what you see on top of the water is nothing compared with what's underneath the water. They're like, how many stories high? 3 or 4 or 5 stories high underneath the water. Things are humongous. Power. You can't come against. You can't come against. So the Most High may have their dollar system and currency fall, but they still got power, right? Military might.
The gift is the sword.
Yeah. Understand? So they're still going to be brought down by the power, of course, of the Most High and Yahushua. Because no nation can really bring them down. That's why the BRIC nations are saying we can't bring them down militarily. Just think of the meetings they have. They're saying, okay. And China's like, well, I got an idea. Let's do it economically. Okay? And then they went through the whole economics of how Esau's dollar system is worthless. Just think of their meetings they have to go through and figure this thing out. So we're not going to shoot bombs. This is what they said. We're not going to shoot bombs in America. We're going to destroy their dollar system and their currency system. So let's go out to the other nations and see if they're on board with this. Then they go to Brazil, then they go to South Africa, they go to Nigeria, they go to African nations, right? And then they get on board. They go to Saudi Arabia, the top nation Esau went to in the early 1970s. To say, look, you got most of the oil reserves in the world. They're up there, right? Russia's up there too. Nigeria's up there. Brazil is up there. Argentina's up there. Venezuela's up there. But Saudi Arabia is one of the highest oil reserves in the world. So they went to Saudi Arabia and said, look, let's go against America. And Saudi Arabia agreed, huh? Okay? So that's going to put a damper on the power and strength of their currency. It's over. Understand? So, but if they can come together like that, and here we are, and we know we're all Hebrews, and we know we're the Israelites, and we can't do it with each other. What does that say about us, huh?
Got some work to do.
Got some work to do. That's why we got to keep on putting it out there. What do Yasharahla tells us to do? Come together on one accord. Bear a burden of thy brother. There's no ill against your brother if you love him. How come we don't practice this? Hospitality. See, he said, be courteous one to another. How come we don't practice this? What the hell's wrong with us? You can't tell me I can't salute you because you're from another camp. I can't salute you. I can't give you a blessing. This is what some of these camps, other camps are saying, who practice that. This is what they're saying. Because all of the saluters is, I'm blessing you. You don't want me to bless you, brother? See? But Esau got us thinking like that.
Come.
Right?
Gang mentality.
Yeah. Divide and conquer you, This is what and he's going to do with the camps and the Israelite school. That's what he's doing. Okay? Okay, go ahead,
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Right, so that's what the Most High is doing. So he says, proclaiming this amongst the Gentiles, come up, okay, come down to the land. What land is he talking about? Jehoshaphat, Valley of Decision. Okay, come. And it said, the Most High said, this is my heritage. I'm pleading for my heritage. Most High ain't pleading for nobody else. Right? How come the churches don't teach this? Right? How come they don't teach this? Most High said, I'm pleading for nobody else. He's only pleading for his heritage. Heritage means what? The nation.
Heirs.
The heirs, and nation you come from, right? Hebrew Israelite. That's the only nation the Most High is pleading for. The heritage that he created, the nation that he chose. That's it.
That's right.
No, the nation he chose. See, that's direct. That's clear. But the churches don't teach that, do they? Right? Because they know they got to explain that. Understand? And so that's what the Most High mean, come up, and all the nations are going to come up, and it's going to be that valley of Jehoshaphat, that war. That war. Okay? The destruction of the nations and the Antichrist. Everything that you read about in Revelation. Okay? It's coming to that climax right there. That's where Yahushua is going to meet that Antichrist and destroy him. But the Revelation tell you what he's going to do to them, right? The Antichrist and the false prophet, Yahushua going to have the angels take them to and bring them to a place and drop them down into the furnace. Okay? That furnace, that burneth with fire and brimstone, that furnace, right? The fire, right? That's more than likely like a volcano type mountain or whatever. The volcano had that type of liquid fire brimstone type of entity in it, and you're gonna take them alive, right? Take them alive. So the Antichrist and the false prophet are gonna take them alive and then drop them down, something like that, and that means certain one of us are going to witness it. Okay, that's what that means when it says I'm going to take them alive, meaning you have to be able to witness it. It's going to happen, right, Con? So, give me Isaiah 47:1. So they're coming down, right? And we have to recognize that. So if they're coming down, that means as Hebrew Israelites, we're coming up. Come? We're coming up. So as we come up, but there's a process. Like, how does a man become an NFL pro athlete? Process. I mean, he has to go through, he's come up from high school, even little league, right? They teaching you. Okay, you learn a certain understanding of football, whatever, little league. And then you go to junior high school. You're in the junior high school team. You're still learning. And then high school, they're teaching you more. See, it's a process. You're learning, you're getting better, and you're getting better, and you're getting better.
Contending for the high mark.
Yeah?
Contending for the high mark.
For the high mark. Contending for the high mark, right? Understand? And you're gaining knowledge and wisdom and understanding how to, play football. And then, of course, if you're a quarterback, you're learning the whole skill set of being a quarterback. If you're, a running back, you learn the whole skill set of being a running back. You just don't all of a sudden just plop up in the NFL. That's the, you know what I'm saying? Same thing with the NBA, baseball, whatever. How do you become a lawyer? They don't just make you a lawyer. You got to go through the process, right? And develop the skill set. So the Most High, He's preparing us, right? He's developing us, our skills, our knowledge, our wisdom, and understanding that He's given us. And He's developing it, and it's already in the Scripture. That's why that's why I said practice, right? Rehearse, right? We have to rehearse, We're not rehearsing it. For brothers say, well, I don't have to keep the commandments. No, you got to rehearse the commandments.
Come.
Don't ever teach nobody not to rehearse the commandments. That's why Matthew 5:19, read that. Because if a man don't keep the commandments, then what? Yasharahla said what?
You'll be called least.
Right, you're going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But if you teach men to keep the commandments and do so, you're going to be called great in the kingdom. Even if you have trouble keeping the commandments or whatever, you have your faults and weaknesses, still teach what? What the commandments say do. Still do it. Right? Because at least you're teaching your congregation to keep the Most High's word, to keep the commandments. Even though sometimes you may fall off, right? Right? So it's showing you that the teachers are in this thing along with the people, right? Weren't the prophets? How many prophets went to jail and got killed and went into captivity with our people? All the prophets, right? Come. All the prophets. Jeremiah was in jail. Yeah. Read how the disciples went in and out of jail and persecuted and everything, along with the congregation, along with the people of Israel, right? So the Most High puts us through it. So still keep the commandments and rehearse. So just like someone who wants to be an NFL pro athlete, you got to rehearse and practice every day. The only one that said he don't have to practice is Allen Iverson. Said I don't have to practice. Practice, but still, he practiced. He had to practice. He had to come through the process still, right? He had to come through the process, and we all got to go through it, right? That's why it says, "Broad is the way that leadeth to what? Destruction. But narrow is the way that leadeth into the kingdom." You got to go through the narrow passage. If you don't not willing to go through the narrow passages that lead to the kingdom, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it, Okay? This is why I said there should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Because brothers who thought that they were doing it and are not doing it, Yasharahla said, he looks at him and says, well, I don't know you over there. See? You're a worker of iniquity. I know this brother here, but I don't even know you. But Yasharahla, I was 30 years I've been doing in the streets and teaching your word. Brother, I don't even know you. Matter of fact, what's your name? See? It's going to be like that, Weeping and gnashing of teeth. Understand? So that's why, because why? They're teaching, you don't have to keep the commandments. You don't got to teach the high holy days. You don't have to keep it. You don't have to learn the Hebrew. You don't have to, right? And Yasharahla didn't say that. Right? Okay, go ahead,
The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
See, so virgin daughter meaning like a woman that's never been touched, right? Virgin. That's America. And so that's why he's making the distinguish of who Babylon is. You have ancient Babylon, okay? And now you have the virgin daughter of Babylon. So Most High's making a distinguish of what Babylon he's talking about. Has America been touched yet? America hasn't been touched. The last war America had on this land was the War of Independence. Right? That was the last war they had. Civil War. Civil War. Yeah. The War of Independence, Civil War, right? So, other than that, there haven't been no war over here. They haven't been touched since then. It's like,
That was the war in itself.
Yeah, that was really, yeah, come.
It was against another nation.
Right, exactly. So you can't even count that. You can't even count that as the last war. So they never really had a war against another nation here, right? Since they have been ruling as America, since the United States. When the 13 colonies came together as the United States, they haven't had no war against another nation on this territory. Right. America, so-called America. They're virgins, do you know what it's like to have a bomb, you know what I'm saying, go off, 100 feet away from you? We don't know what that's like, We don't know what it's like hearing bullets, I'm not talking about, what you may hear in Chicago, little bullets every, a shot every hit now and then. But we're talking about, AK-47s, M16s going off, over there yonder, right? We don't know what that's like, right? We would be terrified. We don't know what that's like. Here in America, they live in their serene neighborhoods, quiet. Nice and quiet. Some of our people live in nice, quiet neighborhoods that wake up, the birds are chirping, the sun is up. They don't know what it's like living in war, right? So it's a virgin daughter of Babylon. Babylon means confusion, right? Babel, look up the word Babel, and it's confusion. So America is the great confusion. And as you see, right, you got transgender movements, homosexuality movements, gay agenda, confusion, right? This is the greatest confusion there ever was in the planet Earth. You got idol worship, false philosophies, everything, confusion. All kinds of religions, confusion. That's what America represents. Okay, go ahead. So it's saying, come down in the dust, meaning they're coming down to the ground. Where's dust at? Where's dirt? On the ground. That's where they come. But again, it's a process, isn't it? Does the Most High bring an empire down right away? No. He brings them down how? Stage at a time. Over time, brings them down. So now the Most High is prepared to bring their currency down. Is that going to destroy America right away? No. Don't think it's going to be destroyed right away. It's not. Their currency is going down to nothing. But America is still going to be in power because of their military. So remember, the Most High is bringing down the social structure too. Okay, morally. This is the most immoral, vile nation there ever was on planet Earth, right? Socially, right? The social structure, right? And civilly, and everything that they do is all vile, wicked, corrupt. But the Most High does it stage at a time. So you can see, that's why he said he's going to tell you, make bare the leg. He's going to reveal them. See, this is who they truly are. Okay, go ahead,
Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Right, see? Sit down, come down to the ground. There's no throne anymore. America's finished. That's why at the same time they put Donald Trump in jail, you got Joe Biden don't know his head from a hole in the ground. See how he's doing it? He's showing you that from the top of their leadership. There's no throne no more. Is there any more wisdom in Teman? Teman was an ancient city in Edom. Okay? And they were the ones that in Teman gave out the laws or the civil law that the Edom had to go by and everything, right? And the judges and magistrates and everything, right? Teman. And they had so-called great wisdom in Teman. There's even more wisdom, right? But most I said, all that's fading away. Now, who looks upon America now with wisdom and knowledge? Nobody else. Okay? These nations aren't looking upon America. They knew America, the nations know America's corrupt and wicked. But because America was what? Powerful, and his economy was powerful. That's why nations diplomatically dealt with America. Right? But they know America's wicked as hell. Okay, it's all corrupt. Everything is corrupt and evil, and it stems from witchcraft. Right? Everything stems from witchcraft. That's when it showed them this, Yakanan, Isaiah 30. What is it? The one that said the liberal, Isaiah 31 and 5. Isaiah 31 and 5. And listen to this now, right?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 31, verse 5. As birds flying, so...
No, I'm sorry, 36. I'm sorry, 36 and 5. Okay, 36 and 5. 32 and 5. My mistake. 32 and 5.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the curl said to be bountiful.
Right. So what does it say? The vile person shall no more be called liberal. What do they call themselves?
Liberals.
Liberals. How about that?
Vile.
They're vile.
Right.
See? Vile means they're immoral, corrupt. Understand what I'm saying? They don't have moral principles. Okay, in secret, they worship Satan. They're pedophiles. They're homosexuals.
Ain't no secret no more.
Right, that ain't a secret no more. But in short, we're going to read in Isaiah 47, we're going to read it. Most High is making bad and lay. Understand? So, okay, go ahead, Doc.
For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy.
I'm sorry, read 5 one more time. Yeah.
Salakia. The book of Isaiah chapter 32 verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the curl said to be bountiful.
So the curl, one of them, I think it's churl, no more said to be bountiful. What's churl? When you look it up, it means their wicked practices. And you know, mostly their wicked practices stem from what? Witchcraft. So that's why we're reading Isaiah 47. As you read on down Isaiah 47, it tells you about the Most High says, now where's your witches? Where's your witchcraft? Use your enchantments now. See, it's no more said to be bountiful anymore. In other words, it can't help them. Even their witchcraft don't help them that much no more, right, Con?
Come.
I mean, to a certain degree, yeah, it still helps them, but the Most High is even bringing that down. Come?
Come.
So it's over for them. Okay? So you want to call yourself a liberal? You got to be part of their witchcraft. Come? All these black politicians want to be liberal. I'm a liberal Democrat. That's what I'm going to vote for. Then you voting for a bunch of witches and warlocks. Understand? Go ahead. Now you go down to 6th verse.
Verse 6. For the vile person will speak villainy.
They're speaking what?
Villainy.
How about wickedness? Go on.
And his heart will work iniquity.
And his heart, what does the heart do? It works iniquity. So Esau's heart, what he thinks, is all stemming from witchcraft, iniquity, sin. For them to come together and say, okay, how can we get this land out of Maui? What can we do? And then they go in their witch covens, right? And their think tanks, and they say, and then here comes a scientist and says, I know what we can do. We can shoot all lasers and burn it up. How about that, huh? And then you might have one that say, but what about all the people? And say, yeah, what about them? Yeah, that's how they think, huh, right?
Come.
Esau thinks that way. To him, that's collateral damage. Okay, so what? Over 1,000 people got killed. So what? And you think he care about the Negro in America?
La'ah.
Care about you? Don't care about our people. He got a lot of his own people that were in Maui living.
Come.
He cared about them.
La'ah.
When the 911 thing happened in Twin Towers, a lot of his own people got killed. He cared about them. But he gonna care. He gonna care about a simple Negro in the ghettos and slums. No, he don't care about you. You know what I'm saying? How people kill me. We got to begin to care about ourselves. Okay, this is what the Most High is showing us. Most High showing you every day they don't care about you. And their mindset is what? Death, destruction. That's their mindset. Okay? To get what they want, they will kill a lot of people. They don't care. Okay? So when they had, of course, the shot and everything, right, for the coronavirus, you think they cared about the so-called Negro? When they brought AIDS out, they cared about the so-called Negro? No. It was meant for our people. They started with the homosexuals first, and then they went to our people. They didn't care. When they brought out diabetes and tuberculosis, who are they affecting with all this? Cancer, our people. Now, does it affect Edomites? That's the Most High. When it affects Edomites, the Most High getting back at them. But do you think their leaders care about their own people dying from it? No, they don't care. It's collateral damage. They don't care. You understand?
We just saw this week. You saw a black athlete die, 23.
Right.
Then you saw a white pro wrestler die from the shot.
Right.
You just saw it.
People are still dying from that. Yeah. Young cat, 23 years old. Well, I forgot what high school it was.
Nah, the one I saw was in college.
Yeah, that was college, but there was another one in high school, 23. Just all of a sudden dropped dead. That's what high school it was. Oh, it's happening all over the country. There's so many now, you just can't keep track, right?
Current.
Of course, they're not going to tell you the numbers.
No, they're going to take the numbers. No.
Because they don't want nothing to break out.
No. But they know if you took that shot, right? If you took it, they know ultimately it's coming. It may take a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's going to come.
It was a kid. His name was
there you go.
Reggie Chaney.
Turn it around so they can see it in the camera.
Reggie Chaney, he died suddenly. That's what they say. At age 23, University of Houston basketball.
Oh, so he was in college.
Yeah, he wasn't college.
So he was 23.
And then there's Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt. He died, pro wrestler. You know what I mean, the other day. Same thing. You know what I mean, they got collateral damage with them.
Right.
Yeah, but when it comes to our people going to college, in order for you to go through the process, you got to take the shot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? So this is why they are saying, some of these Hollywood actors to do a film, they got to take it, right? Mm-hmm. This is what they were saying with Jamie Foxx. And they still can't find Jamie Foxx out. that ain't Jamie Foxx. Whatever that is, I don't know what the hell that is. They still can't find it, right?
No one but this.
Right, exactly. So this is what's happening to our people, right? Because we want to be liberals. See, understand? We want to be liberals. Forget about that, All right. So the Most High is showing us we have to come together. That's where our power lies. Our power lies and our protection lies. Come together, recognizing we're Hebrew Israelites and come together, and then praying to the Most High. Boom, our protection is right there. As soon as we do that, boom, it's right there. Because it was there we came out of Egypt. Yasharahla was a cloud, right? During the day and a pillar of fire at night. Right there. Boom, the protection. No nation could even stand to come against us. They couldn't do it. We can acquire that same kind of power today if we just do what the scriptures say. Go ahead, huh?
For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy.
A bunch of liars, right? There's no civil rights here. Come? There's no voting right, all that stuff. There's hypocrisy. Come? They don't care about your family and your children. They're a bunch of pedophiles. There's all kinds of slave trade going on. They're kidnapping your children all over the country. All right? And they're missing. They can't never be found ever again. Yet they'll come out saying, save the children and help the children. No, it's them that's doing it.
Come.
Right, come?
For propaganda.
Yeah, propaganda. It's hypocrisy, y'all. They practice this. Going up.
His heart will work iniquity and practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry. And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speaketh right. But the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand.
How about that, huh? So the Most High, what he does here, he described to you who a liberal is, right? Huh? So they practice the churl, witchcraft. So he described to you who the liberal is, and then he comes back and says, well, the liberal devises liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. So what's the liberal? They come from the churl. What's the churl? Witchcraft. First he describes to you what a liberal is, then he comes back and says that's how they stand. That's how they devise their iniquity. They devise liberal, that's how they stand, by their iniquity. Come. Most High is something, huh?
Yeah, and also it's describing to destroy the poor with lying words.
With lying words. Right.
They always lying when you're on TV.
Right. This is what they're doing. And you going to trust somebody like Biden? Well, Biden don't even trust what he said himself.
Right? Call his daughter his son.
Yeah.
His dead son.
Yeah. He's calling for people in the audience, and the people are dead. He don't know they're dead, huh? So he don't know nothing. I mean, come on. See, but it's hypocrisy. And so their whole system is built on lies and hypocrisy. Okay, so we know that. And so when you go back to Isaiah 47, so I want to show you that the Most High describes the liberal, and for you, our people in the congregation, and our people out in the world that say that they're liberal Democrats, well, the Most High just described to you who the liberal really is. Now take that. See? And you can't say, well, that's not me. Well, you call yourself a liberal. Understand?
Yeah.
And everything they do is through the vibration of Satan. So if you call yourself a Democrat and liberal, or even a Republican, it doesn't matter, then the Most High is saying that you are with them. You side with them. Okay? Because by liberal things, that's how they stand. Meaning by witchcraft. That's how they stand. Okay? That's how they stand. Esau's power is from the vibration of Satan. Come. Our power is from the vibration, the spiritual power of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yasharahla. Come. That's why the Most High looks at it as spiritual adultery. When you take the side of another power other than the Most High, he says spiritual adultery. So if you say you're a liberal, and in your heart and your mind you're a liberal, of course the Most High is dealing with us spiritually. In your heart and your mind, well, I'm a liberal, Most High. I mean, let's help the liberal Democrats win the next presidency, Most High. What the hell is he talking about? Right? Now you see why the Most High give our people cancer. Understand? They dropping dead, the young man dropping dead. Understand? You don't know what you're talking about. See? So be careful what you accept out here in the world. Go ahead, Diakonon. Where'd you leave off on Isaiah?
Verse 2.
Okay, go ahead. Read 2.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 2. Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Okay, so you understand all that? So, take the millstone and grind meal. Meaning now Esau, the government, has to work hard. See, grinding meal, right? Work hard for its empire, right? To stay afloat. Because they know they're losing ground now. Come. Their social structure is falling. The economic structure is falling. Come. And the political structure is falling. All these structures, it's all falling. And they see it. So now they got to work hard to try to keep it.
Right.
Understand? They got to grind meal now. Now they got to pass over the rivers. Remember Biden to Saudi Arabia. Bow down to Saudi Arabian, right? He kissed his hand. to beg them. In other words, what was he begging? Don't take away the petrol dollar, man. Come on. What kind of military aid that you need? We'll help you. Right? They're begging now. Ukraine, you got to win this war. You got to win this war. If you can't have Russia coming over, then you got to win this war. All that billions of dollars they're going to send Ukraine. He knows damn well Ukraine is no match for the Russian army. Come on. They know it. But they're doing everything they can. They got to work hard to try to keep everything afloat, right? Their empire afloat. Because you may say, well, look at Vladimir Putin. He's Edomite, right? And over here in America, Biden's Edomite. The government here, they're Edomites, right? They're all Edomites. But what's the difference? Where the Mosai said, if Satan be divided against Satan, right? How can their kingdom stand? Remember Putin said with the Rothschilds and the elite, get out of Russia. Get the hell out of here. We're not going by what the Illuminati say anymore. See, that's that division in the ranks, right? Right. The Mosai got them divided. Even amongst the rankings of the Illuminati. Now Putin dealing with witchcraft and all that too. Come. He's the devil too, right? But what's the difference? The Mosai got them fighting against themselves. Even in the higher rankings of the Illuminati, they divided. Because you got parts of the Illuminati that wanted to go this way, and the other part where they want to do it this way, right? The other part wanted, well, let's do it like this. And see, now the Mosai got them all divided up. Understand?
Mosai created the wicked even for the day of evil.
For the day of evil. Right. And so this is why you say, well, how come Putin is not following what America's doing? No, because I said if Satan be divided against Satan, how can he stand? Can't stand no more. He gotta fall now. Right? You gotta fall. And this is why they're pressing towards their new world order, because they have to introduce, because the seals are going to be broken. And they have to begin. I heard they even got a seat for the Antichrist already in Parliament. Okay? And a seat in Parliament, and it has a seat there, an all lonely seat with the number 666 on it. And nobody sits in it. Because they're waiting for the introduction of who they decide who it's going to be. Come. And then that's when they're going to have their global new order come together and bring all these militaries and Gentiles together as one under the guise of the Antichrist. Right? So, but they're divided. And so the Mosai got them that way. And so now Putin goes out and bringing all these other nations together against America. Well, you say, well, aren't they working together? But the scriptures got to be fulfilled, right? There's got to be a divisive thing that's happening in the rankings of the Illuminati. Right? Go ahead, Dr.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Okay, so now everything is going to be seen. So when it says make bare the leg, uncover the skirt, what does that mean? That means the Most High going to reveal them their works, how they really look underneath that skirt. And we see how the Most High describe how they look underneath that skirt, right? Churl, wicked, witchcraft, pedophilia, homosexuality. Understand? Corruption. They're not about what they say they are, right? Come. This is why, the Most High is against a woman who put all makeup on. You ever see these women, how they look one way before makeup and then after makeup? They're beautiful, aren't they? It's beautiful.
And then the man goes and marries her, right? And then all of a sudden, she takes off all the makeup. But it's too late, brother. You married to her. He said, whoa! Whoa, wait a minute. And he goes and gets the annulment for the marriage. He says, man, I didn't marry that. He says, I married this over here. See the picture? So he got a picture of how she used to look. I didn't marry that. And that's happened on a few occasions, right?
Yeah.
It's happened. That's America. They look one way, but after all the makeup and the skirt is uncovered and everything's uncovered, and you wash it all off, right? That's how America really look. Ugly as hell. Defiled. Witchcraft, huh? Right? That's why they got what they call these aliens, spirits, serpent-like spirits in people, right? And sometimes you can see it in their eyes, right? The blacks of their eyes are like long, right? They're out there. These demons out there. They showed you that movie, what's that movie called? With the guy that wear the glasses, and when he wore the glasses.
Oh, They Live.
They Live. Right? So in the appearance, they look good, right? They look like a natural man, a natural woman, whatever. But once they put on the glasses and see what they look on the inside, devil the Bible speaks of.
Yeah, well, I can see that. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Well, watch that movie. They Live.
Like he can see.
Yeah, he can see. Yeah. Right. Him. Yeah. But let me tell you something. When the man said he can see us, you know, spiritually, what is he saying, right? Meaning, the ones of us that are up in this knowledge and wisdom of the Most High, we can see you. See, don't you realize that there are spiritual demons out there that can see you, know who you are? But we see them too. Because we're up in the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High too. The Most High gives us wisdom to see. Right. And you look at that person, that man, that's a demon right there. He's acting one way, but I see you. I see you right through you. See? That's what he means. They can see me. See? So we know them just like they can see us. Good?
Good.
So that's why be circumspect. Those demons are real. They're out there. They're out there, and they're in people. Denzel did a movie called what's that movie where they transfer to the demons?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of the movie. It was saying,
right on the tip of my tongue.
On my side.
Right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, it'll come to us, but it showed that the transference of these demonic forces from one individual to the next. And Denzel, of course, he's a true Israelite, right? He was able to do what? See them. And the thing about it is,
The
Fallen, right. Check that movie out too. The thing is, those demons recognized that Denzel was able to do what? See them.
Yeah,
Acknowledge him. And they couldn't affect Denzel. Why? Because Denzel was up in the spirit, was able to see it. So they're not going to affect you, but they'll affect the ones who are in their ignorance and don't know any better. Come? Right? That's what you got to look at. Yeah.
What's the scripture where that happened with Christ when the demon was like,
yeah,
come here to talk? What's that scripture?
Yeah, that was. I think that was.
Recognized him.
That was an apostle. Well, he wasn't an apostle yet, and he was teaching. He was teaching, so-called teaching, and had everybody thinking he was teaching Yahushua's word, but he wasn't. He was teaching in the name of Beelzebub. He wasn't teaching Yahushua's word. But so he was. So when the demon, when Paul and them were coming, and the demon that was in that brother seeing Paul and the other disciples coming, right? And so the demon said, "Look, man, Paul, I know. You know, Yahushua I know, Paul I know, but who are you? I don't know you."
Seven sons.
Huh?
7 sons.
Yeah.
Yeah, beat the clothes off of them.
Yeah. And
No,
so,
that's not the one I'm talking
Talk
about.
about the
Oh,
one.
okay.
Matthew 8 and 29.
Con.
okay,
That's
yeah.
Matthew 8 and 29. Where
Well, you can read that right quick if you, just the 29th verse.
Let's see.
Some of the ones that we.
Matthew 8 and 28. 8, 28 and 29. Want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Book of Matthew 8, 28. And when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gerasenes, there met him 2 possessed devils, coming out of the tomb, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee,
Oh, okay.
Yahushua, thy son of Yahweh? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time?
Come.
So the evil spirits in them recognize Christ before
Right.
he even did
Right.
anything. They already, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Exactly.
Right.
So you can go to both of those scriptures.
Right.
You're right. So they recognize Yahushua, and of course Yahushua recognized them. So when you up in the spirit and mature in the spirit of the Most High and Yahushua, you'll be able to do what? Recognize spiritual entities in people.
Con.
Same way they showed in the movie Fallen with Denzel. You have to recognize spiritual entities in people. And vice versa, them entities can recognize you too.
Come.
'Cause I've had it happen to me. When no one knew me, man didn't know me from nothing. He didn't know who I was. But he came to me and told me who I was. Understand? So, but that's a level that the Most High would bring you on. I got this thing, when you read about Solomon, the history of Solomon, them demons would come down and talk to Solomon like, they were friends. Right? Solomon would talk to him one-on-one, like, I know who you are, man. And they would come down and talk to him. Understand what I'm saying? So, but that's another level, right? Another level. Okay, come. So, the same thing here with Esau. If Satan is his God, right? Satan is his power. Them demons come down and do what? They minister unto, let's say, them liberals.
Come.
They minister unto him. They teach them what to do. Why he's able to stay in power so long? Because they teach him what to do. And he sees them too. Don't act like he just, he reading something and, no. He actually sees them. They come down and they talk to him. That's how he knows exactly what to do. They come.
Come.
That's why I said the churl. To wicked inventions, witchcraft. They got to conjure up these demonic spirits and they come down and tell them what to do.
Right.
Come.
Come.
Otherwise, Esau's a fool, ain't he? He don't know what to do. He's a fool. But still, on the other hand, right, we have to do the same thing with the Most High. We got to, just like they go to Satan for their power and understanding, we got to go to the Most High and Yahushua for the same thing and pray. Come?
Come.
But no, we don't want to do it. We want to lean upon our own mind, right? That's the only way you're going to defeat any spiritual entity or any temptation coming against you. You got to go to the Most High. That's your power, right? Come?
Con.
Okay. And look, even the scriptures say they accuse the accuser of our brethren night and day. They go to the Most High to accuse us. They still go to the Most High. Even though Satan is their power, but they still go to the Most High to do what? To accuse us of sinning. Every day, huh? The attack rabbis of Esau go to the Most High to accuse us of sin. Every day. And we don't go to the Most High every day? They go every day to the Most High and we don't? Yeah, they're the devil, right?
Right.
How come we don't do that, huh? See? We make things hard for ourselves. Right? Okay, go ahead, y'all can, if you want to bring out something, go ahead.
I wasn't bringing up.
Yeah, okay.
But
that was it on that. We're just going to go to the next one. I just want to show them that. Yeah.
no, but I was just saying this actually goes back to the temptation in the wilderness
Right.
when the devil tempted Yahushua. If you go to Matthew chapter 4, verse 8, and this is the same tactics that
Same tactics, right? That's what I go to.
The liberal Jews.
It was
tactics. They still take what the devil gives them.
That was just in the short version.
Yeah.
Understand? What Yahushua went through?
Yeah.
But we go through that every day. Right? What Yahushua went through at that time, we go through it every day. We're the people of Yahushua. So that demon is coming after us now. But it's every day, huh? Every day. In one shape, form, or fashion, every day. That's why we have to pray. And what did Yahushua do? He prayed. He went straight to the Most High, huh? Didn't he? When he was at the rock of Gethsemane, right? At the rock praying. Who was there next to him? Trying to tempt him. Because Yahushua, let's say Yahushua was sweating so hard, he was sweating blood, huh? You ever read that? Because he was about to get crucified. Right? He about to be crucified. So he was, of course, going through his, the emotions and everything, but to be crucified, huh? And he was sweating blood. Guess who was there tempting him? Satan. You ain't got to do this. Don't do it for these people. These people ain't worthy. All that stuff, right? So now, bring it to your situation. I'm tired, man. I don't feel like going out. I'm tired. I don't want to do this. Brothers don't know what they're talking about. What does the demons do? Just magnify that thought. Right? Magnify it. Next thing you know, you don't see a brother for like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, 2 months, right? All starts off with a thought. A negative thought. That's all it starts. That's all Satan needs, a negative thought. That's all he needs. Understand? That brother ain't right. That's all Satan needs. And he comes right on in there. Magnifies it. Understand? So that's why it says, when you love thy brother, there's no ill will against him. In love. Because Satan can't get through love. Love is too powerful, right? It's too powerful. Go ahead, y'all can get Nahum 3 and 1 and 5. Tazapaya, can you get Psalm 49 and 6?
Come.
The book of Nahum, chapter 3, 1 through 5. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery.
That's America, right? This is Nahum. Bloody city. It's all full of lies and robbery. That's all you see out here. Come, go ahead.
Come. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels.
Right. That's America, right? The noise of a whip, the prey departeth not, meaning people are all kinds of people are preyed upon. Not only Israel, but all people, right? Here in America, all preyed upon. Prey departeth not, meaning people are killed every day. Come. And the noise and the rattling of the wheels, what is that talking about? Where do you hear rattling of the wheels?
In Egypt. In Egypt.
No, the rattling of the wheels. It's talking about. Yeah, it's talking about their
Chariot.
Yeah, the chariot. What's a modern day chariot? Cars and stuff.
Tanks and all that.
Yeah, cars,
right?
traffic, wheels screeching. So Nahum is seeing a vision of what America would look like today. And what he's seeing a traffic scene, right? Cars going right, but it's the way he describes it, rattling on the wheels. Right, come?
Come.
Okay, go ahead, huh?
And of prancing horses and of the jumping chariots.
See? Prancing horses. Right? Automobiles. I think in Nahum 1, I think it's 1 that tells you about that too. And jumping chariots is what?
Helicopters.
Yeah, helicopters, airplanes. When the airplanes go off, what does it look like? A jumping chariot. Right? Go up into the air. That's what he's describing. Come? He's saying in these days, right? This is what he's seeing in these days. That's the way he's describing it. Because they didn't have it back then, right?
Right.
Okay, go ahead, up.
The horsemen lift up both the bright sword and the glittering spear.
Well, and so you see that, remember the Wild Wild West? Right? The sword, the modern day sword is what? The gun. And how are people getting killed today? People take out their guns. They don't fight. They don't do a man-to-man fight. They take out their gun and kill you. See? This is what he was witnessing, huh?
And your gun's sparking.
Yeah, it's sparkling. Right.
Yeah, the glittering.
Glittering. He was witnessing. They don't say, what the hell is that?
Muzzle flash.
I can't. How do I describe that? Okay, a glittering sword. Understand what I'm saying? That's the way he described it. Go ahead, up.
And there is a multitude of slain.
So what do you have in America? A multitude of slain. Come?
Come.
Right? In the ghettos and slums, there's a multitude of slain. Gunfire. In Wilmington, per capita, Wilmington's the top as far as people being killed.
Come.
Right?
Yeah, somebody dies every 12 hours from like gun violence.
Every 12 hours. Now, we know Chicago is bad, but we're talking about per capita because Wilmington is small. Right? Wilmington's on top. This is what Nahum was witnessing, huh? Right? So go ahead, huh?
Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft.
Right. Just jump to Yasharahla, 2nd chapter, 4th verse. So you get a better understanding of the rattling of the wheels. Just jump to that right quick.
The book of Nahum, chapter 2, verse 4. The chariot shall rage in the streets.
They're going to do what?
Rage in the streets.
You got better understanding now? What is that? Automobiles today.
Tractor trailers.
Tractor trailers, all that. Yeah. All of that. Put all that together.
Loud motorcycles.
Yeah, all that. Put all that together, right? You go ahead, huh?
They shall jostle one against another in
Traffic, right? Go ahead.
in the broadways. They shall seem like torches. They shall run like the lightnings.
How about that? See? Automobiles. Yeah. Come. This is what he was saying. This is the best way he could describe it. Okay. Go ahead, up.
He shall recount the worthies.
His worthies.
His worthies, Salakia. They shall stumble in their walk. They shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defense shall be prepared.
Yeah, and so what is that describing? When you take a subway train, what do people do? Count their monies, their worthies. Right? I mean, he was seeing the visions of all this stuff, huh? And stumble in their walk. People walking, right, to the subway train. Crowds and crowds of people counting their money, or just walking the streets, whatever. Come? And it says, and they make haste to the wall thereof, and the defense shall be prepared. When you go on like a subway train, what do they have up there?
A gate.
Right, a gate, or on the train itself, the thing you hold on to, the strap that you hold on to, is, huh?
Bars and
Yeah,
things
the
like
bar
that.
stuff is prepared already, isn't it? So you got to look at what he's seeing in the vision. People counting their money, getting their ticket, whatever, going on the train. So this is what he's seeing. You got Amtrak, you got all these trains. So this is what he's seeing in the vision. Come?
Come.
All this type of stuff. Okay, now go back. And you got 3
In
and
them subways, they
4.
got the defense, they got the
Yeah.
subway police and things.
So
like that.
yeah, all that stuff, right? Come.
And they go in the buildings, they got security.
You got security, right? Okay, go ahead, up.
The book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft.
This is who? This is America, but this is also talking about the Roman Catholic Church. Come?
Come.
So now it's going on a higher level. The Roman Catholic Church. She's the mistress of harlots. Right? And so nations through her whoredom. Because if you're not going to become part of the Roman Catholic Church in your nation, whatever your nation, where you're from, whatever government that is, then they destroy it. Okay? So they sell you out first. This is why they got the World Health Organization and what's the other organization that give out money? IMF, yeah, International Monetary Fund. They get, if you get, they get all that money for that, but the Roman Catholic Church control it, and they tell these nations, they tell the IMF what nation to give money to help economically and so forth, but they have to agree to be liberal Democrat, agree to be a democracy. They have to agree to allow homosexuality, all that stuff out. Then they get their money. Come? And that's the Roman Catholic Church. That's how they work. That's how they operate throughout the whole earth. Okay, but now you see the nations are tired of it now. They tired of it. And that's why you guys, African nations saying, no, Obama, we're not accepting homosexuality. Get out of here with that. Okay? Get the hell out of here with that. Okay, go ahead up.
Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Right, see? There you go. Well, didn't we just read that in Isaiah 47? We read all that same thing. So the Most High showed Nahum the same vision he showed Isaiah. Con?
Right.
He showed America's nakedness. They're all in the Roman Catholic Church nakedness. In the Roman Catholic Church, they do the same thing. Right? Babylon the Great is America and the Roman Catholic Church. Come? It's both. Why? Because America is the military might of Babylon. The Roman Catholic Church is the religious entity of Babylon. Come? They work together. The CIA works for the Roman Catholic Church. They don't care about America. The NSA work for the Roman Catholic Church. The military in America really works for the Roman Catholic Church. They don't really care about America. You see, they selling America out. Okay? So they don't care about America. So it's both. They're both the whores. They're both harlots. Okay? And so America gets its orders from the Roman Catholic Church and the popes of Rome. Come? That's the whore. Meaning you have to buy into her. It's like a whore. You have to buy into her. And to get something out of her, then you have to accept her philosophies and her religions. Okay? And then Tazapaya, Psalms 49:6.
Come. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 49, verse 6. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to the Most High a ransom for him. Right.
Who trusts in their riches? Who can't redeem his brother? The Most High is talking about who's in power now. Come? So they trust in their own riches. And they think that their dollar system is going to continue. And it's not going to continue.
Good.
See? We're going to show you that. It's not, Most High going to show you it's not going to continue. And they can't redeem their own people. It's over. But in their minds, they think they can, but they can't. Okay, it's over. Go ahead, Tazapaya.
Verse 8. For the redemption of their soul is precious, and it ceases forever.
It's going to cease forever. Go on.
That he should still live forever, and not see corruption.
Yeah, in his mind, he think going to live forever and not see corruption. This is how they think, huh? So this is why they can have a beam of light come down in Maui and just destroy the whole land. Because in his mind, he's going to live forever, huh? Right? That's in his mind. Oh, so what? We kill a few thousand people. In their mind, we're the elite. We can do what we want. This is how they think. See? But the Most High see everything, huh? Most High gonna let that go. He see everything. Okay, go ahead, Up.
Verse 10. For he seeth that the wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish.
Okay, so that's good. That's good on that.
Actually, let it get down to 11.
Down to 11. Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
Come.
go ahead.
And leave their wealth to others. Verse 11. Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever.
Wow.
And
How
their
about
dwelling
that?
places to all generations.
What's the inward thought? Go ahead.
That their lands be called after their names.
Right. So the inward thought that their generation is going to last forever.
Right.
So this is why they can do what they do. What they did in Maui. They set Maui on fire. Okay. They came down from the satellite with laser beams. So they had that technology. So when you hear these fires, because right after that is a fire in California, right? Or was it Seattle? It was one of them.
Yeah, they had a hurricane and an earthquake in California.
Right? So all of a sudden, you know, these fires, they can't put out and all that, Esau setting them up.
We see
It began with the Most High, but after a while now, Esau is doing it. Right, Con? Esau is doing it. But of course, the Most High is allowing it. Because the Most High is going to allow them and put in their minds, again, like Pharaoh. Pharaoh, I raised thee up. So I may show my power. So Esau got to be raising up to a point where he thinks he can't be conquered. And that his generation will live on forever, right?
Come.
Otherwise, if Esau knew he could be conquered and all that, the prophecies wouldn't come to pass. He wouldn't do what he's doing, right? So in his mind, he thinks, well, yeah, I can do this. Look how powerful I am. I got laser beams and satellites.
Who shall bring
In
me down?
outer space, huh? Huh?
Who shall bring me down?
Who shall bring me down? Right. Right. Okay. And then I want to go to this one, James 5:1. So now here we have it. So now you have the BRIC nations are together, are forming together against Esau's here in America, against America's currency, which is the dollar system. The dollar system, which is not backed by gold, hasn't been backed by gold since around 1971 when Nixon did away with the gold standard. Before that, you had the currency system was backed, by gold. The amount of money you had, it was gold backed by it. But now, they did away with that system. And because they wanted the dollar system, the dollar currency to be the major influence of money throughout the whole earth, they did away with the gold standard. And from that point on, they convinced Saudi Arabia during that time, and I think during the time of Reagan also, because Reagan had to shore it up. So he went to Saudi Arabia and let them know to, look, we'll help you out with military aid, economic aid, whatever you want. Just make sure that the oil that you pump out is backed by the U.S. dollar currency. Okay? And so whenever they traded the oil, it had to be done through the dollar system. Okay? So that's why they call it the petrodollar. And so United Arab Emirates do the same thing. What's the other one that Iraq invaded? What's the other?
Kuwait.
Kuwait, yeah, Kuwait. Same thing, all through the dollar system. At one time, Iraq, that's why they invaded Iraq, because Iraq was going to go away with the dollar system and was going to begin to trade oil in euros. So America told Saddam Hussein, you ain't. We'll come over there and destroy you. Matter of fact, we'll make up a lie and say that you got weapons of mass destruction, which Hussein, we know you don't, but we're going to tell the public that. And we'll come over there and destroy you. Okay? So now, and they did that, right?
Come.
They did it.
Right.
So, but now it's come to a point where all these nations can see what America has done for all these years. They can see it. Africa can see it. That's why they killed Gaddafi, right? Because Gaddafi said, let's come together. Let's form an Africa, a unity of Africa, right? And have our own money system. Okay, so all the minerals that's in Africa, Esau then raped, robbed, and pillaged all of Africa, right? And so they tied up.
From cocaine to chocolate.
Yeah. All those minerals. And a lot of those minerals, Esau need those minerals. Cobalt, right? He needs those minerals. Of course, gold, silver. He needs a lot of those minerals he needs over here in America. They were building a pipeline. I think it was going through Nigeria, I believe, into Europe. Because you know, France it still has a lot of still own and run a lot of land in Africa, right? France. And I think they were building a pipeline from I think it was from Nigeria into France, into Europe, into France. Come. And they destroyed it. They destroyed the whole pipeline. The Africans said, "No, you ain't doing that. What are we going to allow you to do that for?" So France is about to be cut off. France was getting how much? Billions of dollars every year from Africa.
I think it's through Shell.
Through Shell, right?
Yeah.
Billions of dollars. Okay? So now they're about to be cut off from that. So now France is going to be cut off. It was like, I think it was up to $600 billion or something like that they were getting just by occupying certain countries in Africa. So they raped and pillaged Africa. So now the Africans are saying, not no more. So they coming together with the BRIC nations, and the BRIC nations, we're talking about Brazil, China, Russia, India, South Africa. And now you got nations like Nigeria coming along, Mali's coming along aboard with them, and other African states are coming along with them, Algeria, they're all coming along, right? And they're joining the BRICS nation against America's dollar system. And so they had a meeting the other day and saying that by January 1st, they're going to cut off from using the dollar system when they're trading oil. And of course, Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates has joined the BRICS nation, which means that that's the end of the petrodollar when it comes. When they bring it in, issue it in, they already got their currency made and everything, huh? So you're talking about the end of Esau's, right, currency on that level, from being a dominant force, influence in the whole earth. The end of it.
Right.
So from what they say is that $1 is going to be worth $55 or 55 of the BRICS nations' currency. It's going to drive America down. And that dollar system, they're going to have the influence it had at one time. Okay, so this is what they're saying. And so, but the Most High is doing this one stage at a time, right? Bringing them down. So that's why when you read James, 5th chapter, 1st verse.
The book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
So, miseries, right, that shall come upon them. And what's that going to do for Wall Street? What's that going to do for the American economy? Okay, what's that going to do for the big bankers? Right? It's going to bring them down. Okay? It's going to bring the American system down. Yeah, real quick.
So are you saying, like, when that happens with the dollar, and the value of it is going to be so low that most of us over here in America might have to move to another country because of their money system to make everything much better?
No. We're not saying move anywhere.
No, I'm saying with it possibly that could happen.
Well, yeah. Well, you got people moving out now. As we speak, there are a lot of our people moving out. There are a lot of other nations are moving back to their country now, right? But you got to understand something. Remember we said in the beginning, faith, right? If you're going to be afraid, that's why I said perfect love casts out fear. We know this is coming, okay? We see the Mosai bringing the death and destruction of America and the death and destruction of their economy. So where you going to run to? Okay? Where you going to run to? That's why, again, we said in the beginning, right? We got to come together as a nation. And as a nation, we're powerful in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We're powerful. So that's why the Mosai said, they shall hunger, but we shall eat.
Come.
They shall thirst, but we're going to drink. And you have to understand, you have to believe that. You have to believe that. If you're afraid, okay, then you're going to go flee somewhere else to another country, but then you may have problems there.
Yeah. My point I was making was like, when you was talking earlier about the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
Over there, they might not have that system set up.
Right.
Yeah, leave this system to get away from it. They go over there.
Right, you go over there. Come. But what I'm saying is, all our people, we can't leave, our tribe can't leave America. Right. So what you running for what? You know, because when the tribulation period comes, it's going to affect everywhere. Everywhere. Okay? So don't run out of fear. Because then the Most High don't like that. Because then it's like when you don't have no trust in the Most High and Yahushua. Do you think that when America is coming down, you think the Most High going to have it where it's going to destroy all our people? You know what I'm saying? All of us over here? No, it's not. Okay? The Most High going to preserve the ones of us who we want to preserve. And I believe that, and we're going to be okay. But we got to come together as a people. Right? We got to come together. Okay? So go ahead, Doc.
It's going to be a time where we reevaluate what is wealth.
What is wealthy? Right. Because Tazapiah, you're right about that. Get Zephaniah 1:18, Tazapiah. But go ahead, Yachanan.
Verse 2, your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten.
See, what's America's money? It's not worth anything anymore, is it?
It's corrupted.
It's corrupted. And it's moth-eaten. The Most High's been chipping away at it for a long time. It's fiat money.
Yep.
What is fiat money?
Based off nothing.
Yeah, it has no value. It's not based off no gold or nothing. The real money in the earth is the Most High's gold and silver and brass. That's the real money. It doesn't lose value. Esau knows that.
It's like and that's why you were saying that the military is backing the dollars backed by the oil and the military.
And the military.
Yeah, without that, it would have no.
It would have no value. Right. Exactly. It would have no value.
Yeah.
Right. But that's why they have their bases, 800 some odd bases in all these countries. The military
protecting the
oil and the money and everything.
The money, right? Exactly. But that's folding quickly.
You're right. It's folding because their military is corrupt. So Esau is trying to get people in the military now. He's going the age limit now, like 40 years old. You can join the military. You're damn near old man. You can join if you want. Because nobody's joining the military, right? So even that structure, they're losing in that structure too. But go to China. They got a 1 million man army, huh? But really, they probably got a 10 million man army. You know what I'm saying? They got 1 billion people over there.
200 million.
Yeah. 600 million?
200 million.
200 million man army, huh? America don't have that. No. Okay. India's army, they got a billion people over there too.
Yes, a lot of them over there.
Well, come on, Doc. And Esau trying to say, is once the BRICS nations come together, you got 300 million people coming together. No, there's 1 billion people in China. What do you mean 300 million? He knows it's more than that. You got 1 billion people in China, 1 billion in India, They all part of BRICS. However many, you got almost probably a billion in Russia. You know, 300, 400 million, whatever it is. Brazil, right? So come on, huh? It's finished. Go ahead, huh?
Your gold and your silver is cankered.
What's his gold and silver? It's the dollar. The dollar is his gold and silver.
Con.
Okay, that's what it means. That is what's cankered. His money system. The Most High just said that's because that's his gold and silver, his money, right? His dollar. God is cankered, huh? And even gold today. Esau, I think Esau's giving you real gold. Anytime you say you got 18 karat gold, is that real gold? It's cankered, isn't it? It still has alloys in it, right? That make it not pure. Come? Because that's why I say 18 karat. It's not pure, it's only 18 karat. Come? Or even 24 karat. Still, not the pure stuff. So it's cankered. Bring King David 24 karat gold, he'll chop your head off. Right? Now you bring one of us in the ghetto, 18 karat, you think you got something, don't you? I got 18 karat gold. What are you talking about? No, David wouldn't accept that. Solomon wouldn't accept that. They'd kill you. Bring them fake gold, cankered gold. Right? Go ahead, huh?
Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you.
So now their money system is going to be a witness against them, right? For what their deception and what they have done. Okay? And establishing this fiat money, which you get paper money. What's paper money? It's not worth the paper it's written on, right? It's printed on, nothing. Go ahead, huh?
And shall eat your flesh as it were fire.
It's eating their flesh. Isn't it eating their flesh? Esau's worried now, isn't he? What are we going to do? Saudi Arabia is now part of the BRICS. What are we going to do now? Con? They're worried. That's how the Most High got them now. They're worried like crazy. What are we going to do? Okay, go ahead, up.
Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
How many days?
For the last days.
How many days?
For the last days.
No more treasures for them. It's the last days, huh? For the last time. They got them, huh? Most High got them. Right? And it's going to slowly but surely bring them down. Okay? Now, they're not going to necessarily come down in one day. But you see the process happening, right?
They'll come down, but you can never see them go back up again.
Yeah, they're going to go back up. It's over. Right. Go ahead, up. Was that it?
Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud.
Who are they talking about? Who's the Most High talking about? Who the hire of their laborers? Who labored for 400 years in America? Israel. That's who the Most High talking about. He said, they have been kept back by you by fraud.
Right.
And what's the main fraud? Them saying that they're Israelites and they're not. Saying that they're Jews and they're not. Fraud. Con? They're a bunch of frauds. They're not Israelites. They're not the real Jews. They're a bunch of frauds. Con? Going up.
And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
And that's the Most High. So our cries go into the ears of the Most High, right? So cry to the Most High. Pray to the Most High. The Most High hear it. But the Most High got to do his thing, right? That's why I said patience is the key. Allow the Most High to bring the prophecies to pass. You have to be patient. We can't be like Judas Iscariot who was impatient. We have to be patient with the Most High. He hears your cries, hears your prayers, but you got prophecies to fulfill. Right? So we got to look at that too. And that was it on that. Tazapaya, I think one of the last ones, Zephaniah 1:18.
Con.
And then one more after that, Ezekiel 7:19. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tazapaya.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 18. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them.
So how about that? And what's their silver and gold? Their petrodollar.
Right.
Okay? Their silver and gold is their petrodollar. Can it deliver them now?
Nope.
How come they don't go over there and sell these nations all out now?
Right.
How come they don't go over there and sell them out? What money? The nation said, no, we went through that already. No more, America. You can't sell us out no more. We don't want your dollar. It's worthless. Understand? And also the BRICS nations, their money, the BRIC money is going to be backed by gold. It's going to be backed by gold. At least if you're going to have paper money, you got to be backed by gold. I mean, it's all corrupt anyway. We know that. Because when in the kingdom, we're not going to be dealing with no paper money. It's going to be gold, silver, and brass. If I want to buy something from you, I'm going to give you gold for it. Come. I'm going to give you silver for it. Come. That's how it's supposed to be done. That's the real money. All right. Go ahead, Doc.
Neither shall their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
Right, see, a speedy riddance. So their money and their gold will be able to deliver them. And so that's what the Most High is leading to. He's leading to what? Of course, the final destruction. But in the end, their money system won't be able to deliver them no more. Come? They've been selling out nations for a long time. They're so used to it. They're like, what's wrong with them? How come they don't accept this billions of dollars we're going to give them? No, they don't want it.
Right. Putting sanctions on nations.
Yeah.
All the time.
Did the sanctions work against Russia? No.
No.
And terrorists.
And those nations are tired.
Don't you think, I'm telling you something, Putin ain't a dumb guy. Putin knows they're going to sanction him. You don't think he knew that before he went to war? They were all prepared for it, huh? All prepared for it. Sanctions don't work no more.
Esau knows Esau.
Right. Esau lost billions. Because all the billions that Brazil borrowed from America, you think Brazil going to pay that back? No. All the billions that Africa, they got from America, Africa, you think they're going to pay that back? No. Even look, Putin said, look, Africa, I'm going to forgive you of your debt. See, America's not doing that. Putin came to Africa and the African nations who he had dealings with, and they borrowed money from Russia, said, I'm going to forgive you of your debt. Matter of fact, he got some grain. He got billions of dollars worth of billions of pounds of grain he gave Africa. I think Mali was one. Faso was another one. And certain other African countries, he gave them free grain that was worth billions of so-called dollars. Billions of dollars, right? In Russian money, of course. Come. Free, huh? Is America going to do that? So Africa said, the hell with you, America. As a matter of fact, what we owe you, forget it. We're not paying it back. Okay, America ain't going to tell you that, right? He's going to tell you that. They're not going to pay America back. It's finished. What's America going to do? If all these nations ain't going to pay him back, what's he going to do? There's nothing he can do. So, go ahead, Doc. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, and then read yours, Doctor. That's it.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets.
Where's going to cast?
They shall cast their silver in the streets.
Oh yeah, I'm worth $1 million, but my bank account don't mean nothing no more.
They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. So
how much money you got in your account? You black billionaires and millionaires. Your money ain't going to be worth nothing.
Right.
It's not going to be worth nothing. Okay? It's fiat money. It's not worth nothing now. The only thing, again, like you said, is backing it is petrodollar. But after a while, it's not going to mean nothing. Okay? And that's why these banks are slowly closing up. Okay? Your money's not going to be worth nothing. Okay? They're going to cast into the streets. Because that's why I said, the Most I said, a man's life consists not in the things he possesses. Okay? So woe unto them that look upon their riches to save them. Right? Money is a root to all evil. Yeah, of course you need money, but the Most I said, they've gotten their money off the evil that they've done. right? So it's not going to mean nothing after a while. It's not can't produce redemption for them or salvation for them. And they're going to see that. They're going to say, well, it doesn't mean nothing. No way. Throw it in the streets. Okay? Was that it, Dr. Hunt? That was it, right?
They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity.
There you go, right? The stumbling block of their iniquity, their money. Go on.
As for the beauty of his ornaments, he set it in majesty, but they made the images of their abominations and of their detestable things therein. Therefore have I set it far from them.
Right. See? So this is what's coming to America, the destruction. So that's it on that. All praise to Yahweh, Shalom, Mashiach, Yahushua. So this is why we have to come together as a nation. So our salvation and our redemption is in Yahweh, Shalom, Yahushua, but as a nation, as we come together. See, so we shouldn't fear what's about to come to America, because we know the power of the Most High Yahushua, that's going to protect us. Just like when we came out of Egypt, you know how vulnerable we were when we came out of Egypt? But there was no fear. Why? Because the Most High was with us. Yahushua was there with us, right? Con? Same thing today. This is the second Egypt. Right? So there should be no fear of that. Okay? Yeah, we got to go through Jacob's trouble. Con. But let's go through Jacob's trouble in unison together, so that we can help one another and bear one another and nurture one another. Understand? And give one another motivation, right, to deal with what's coming on America. Except, instead of being divided, separate from one another, that's not going to work. Okay, that's not going to work. So all praise Yahweh, Shalom, Mashiach, Yahushua. Kwam Yasharahla. Kwam Yasharahla. Kwam Yasharahla. Kwam Yasharahla.
Until further notice, we will be holding camp at 24th and Market Street at 10 a.m. on Saturdays. We're going to try to get a Friday night camp in too, if possible. It'd probably be maybe in Newcastle or Middletown as well. We will continue to have class here at Rose Hill Community Center from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. at 19 Lamson Lane, Newcastle, Delaware. Classroom 110B. We appreciate it if you join us. And if you'd like to give any free will offerings or alms, you can give that at Hebrew Chosen Elect at Cash App. We have some upcoming feasts coming up. We will be posting them as well, and we'll be doing for those feast days. And we also have upcoming coat drive that we're going to start fundraising for too at the beginning of this, at the end of this month. So be on the lookout for advertising for the 5th anniversary of the Give It All You Got coat drive. And with that, we'll say Kwam Yasharahla. Kwam Yasharahla. Kwam Yasharahla. Kwam Yasharahla. Kwam Yasharahla. B'Hashem Yahushua.